Okay, I'm finally here. A little late. Thanks for being patient. Welcome to Mystic. Turning my screen on. Here we are. Look at, we're here. We did it. How's everybody doing? Say hi in the chat if you're here. Excited for today's show. I got a new game coming up. Why am I doing a new game? I'm doing a new game because it's always my intention. Hey Planchini, what's going on? Glad to see you here. It was always my intention with this stream is just to have some kind of game going on in the background that's kind of something to watch while you listen. This was a little tougher than I was expecting to, because I wanted to play and talk at the same time. But that wasn't working out. So then I was just doing intermittent chess breaks, but I didn't really love that. So I was looking for games. That I can mindlessly play for you to watch, and so it doesn't take up my brain power while I'm talking about the quote. Hold on, I'm getting a message. Oh, I see. Hold on, let me make an adjustment to my lighting. For some reason my life is a little brighter though. Hold on. I think that looks better. Yeah. There we go. I don't know why that happened. My light was all messed up. Anyway, where are we? Do we get into it? Check out my new game, everybody. Let me know in the chat if you've ever heard Townscaper. I'm gonna try and play and talk at the same time. So here we go. We got the quote up. Let's see the quote. Don't strain in your meditation. Don't force. Just let your effort be relaxed and steady. Don't strain in your meditation. Don't force. Just let your effort be relaxed and steady. Hold on, let me see. What am I doing? There we go. Okay. Yeah. So this is an interesting quote because never heard of it, Planchini. You're gonna like it. This is an interesting quote because as a beginner, you hear don't strain in your meditation, don't force. And I don't know. I feel like that can lead you to just feeling like, you sit down into your meditation and you don't really know what you're doing. And then you'll just let your mind wander and I don't know, have no real intention. But meditation does take intention, and it does take effort. So yeah, if you're not forcing but you're using effort, what is the effort? What is the effort that is relaxed and steady? So the effort is tuning into present moment sensation. That is the effort. And what does that mean? That means tuning into what it feels like to be in the body. What does it feel like? What is the sensation of being alive? We have pulses. We have nerve firings. We can feel the temperature in the room. We can hear the sounds around us. I mean, what connects us into present moment is our five senses, right? Taste, smell. So taste and smell usually in meditation don't apply, but maybe a smell arises, and that's something to notice. But the big ones are feeling, and that's interoception, feeling inside. What is it like to be alive in the body? What does that feel like? And sound is also a really great one. Sound is also really great because listening is just a powerful tool for, because when you're thinking, you're kind of listening to your thoughts. You know what I mean? There's a listening aspect to it in a way. And when you're listening to, I don't know, maybe the garbage truck come by, or cars driving by, or the hum of your refrigerator, yeah, when you're listening to the sounds around you, when you sink into those sounds with an alertness, it quiets the mind. Sensing into your five senses is the best way to quiet the mind. So don't strain in your meditation, don't force, just let your effort be relaxed and steady. Your effort being really tune into your five senses, really tune into the felt sense of your body, really tune into the sounds around you, tune into present moment sensation. And this is definitely tricky. I mean, it definitely takes an alertness, it takes an intensity, it takes effort. Because the present moment is it's very slippery. It's a very slippery thing to hold on to, because it is always changing. Always changing, what does that mean? It means something like, well, your main anchor, I would say, in meditation is interoception, feeling inside your body. Feeling, what does it feel like to breathe? What is the sensation of breathing? Okay, so you're feeling inside your body, and those the sensation of feeling inside is it can be very subtle. Yeah, feeling the sensation beneath your skin, so a way to think about feeling into your body is something called proprioception. So how do you know your feet are where they are? How do you know your hands are where they are? Right? There's a felt sense to it. You know where the top of your cranium is, the top of your skull is, because there's a proprioceptive awareness of it. So if you tune inside and search for the top of your skull, the sensation of your hands, the sensation of your feet, that's interoception. That's feeling inside, and that is definitely one of your biggest anchors in meditation, aside from the physical sensation of breath energy itself. I mean, of breathing itself. Oh, you know what? Let's see how this looks. There we go. A little brighter. I forgot to turn on one of my lights. Anyway, feeling inside, right? But yeah, the sensation of, where your hands are being where they are is definitely subtle. Subtle meaning if you there's not a lot of sensation to hold on to. Like, what I'm trying to say is it's easy to get distracted. If you're just feeling the sensation of your hands, it's subtle, and it's not super stimulating for the mind. So it's your mind will want to just delve back into thought patterns and thinking. Um, right? And not to mention that the sensation is kind of a shifting sensation when you sense inside. Proprioceptive awareness is kind of a shifting sensation. So maybe there might be an obvious sensation of your breath somewhere in your back, but it's shifting, it's changing, and then that obvious sensation is going to become subtle, and a more obvious sensation is going to appear somewhere else. Right? So it's always changing, and that, so if you're sticking with something that feels most prominent, a sensation that's most prominent in the body, and then it goes subtle, and then it goes quiet, and harder to feel, if you're not really alert and looking for where the next sensation is arising, yeah, you lose it, and your mind holds on to something. It starts thinking, because thinking is it feels good, and it's more entertaining for the mind. That's what I'm trying to say. It's more entertaining for the mind, so it starts just going into a thinking spiral. Right. So it takes some effort to stay in the present moment. It's an intensity, it's an alertness, and it's not simple, and it's not. I wouldn't even call it relaxing, right? Because relaxing just has that connotation of just letting your mind wander. It is effort, and it is intense. It is an intensity, but you shouldn't strain. Right, and I feel like that's just a matter of like looking inside. It's not like you're gritting your teeth and scrunching your face, just trying so hard to stay with the present moment, because that isn't the practice either. Part of this practice is, seeing what comes up in the mind. We want to be open to thoughts arising in the mind, because we want to investigate and be curious about where we have patterns that we return to maybe a little too frequently, thinking patterns that we return to too frequently. Like maybe there's someone who makes us angry, and we maybe in your meditation you like to think about that all the time, or yeah, so just noticing frequent thinking patterns. So the only way to notice that is to allow thinking to come up in your meditation, which it will. So you're not trying to stop thinking. And I think that's what the strain is referring to. It's like straining to, I'm not going to think. Yeah, and replaying conversations definitely from earlier in the day. I mean, that's just it's like mental TV, you know? You just sit down, and I mean, it might not be a bad conversation, or it might not necessarily be, I don't know, the best conversation you've ever had in your life, but there is just something, when you're just trying to sit down and feel inside your body, it's relaxing, I guess, to just sit and replay, but that's relaxing. We're trying to accomplish something here in this meditation, and we'll talk more about that as we go along, but we are trying to accomplish something, and so we have to have intention, and the intention is to put all of your effort into present moment sensation. but not straining. Thoughts, letting thoughts arise, but really honing in on present moment sensation. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions about that. That's definitely the gist of this quote. That's what I wanted to bring in about it. See if anything comes up for me while I'm playing this. You guys like this game? Kind of interesting, isn't it? It's kind of it's definitely still, I think I'll get better at it as I get more familiar, but it's definitely difficult to talk and play the game at the same time. And I'm really going for this. I want to, you know, I'm on Twitch, and Twitch is all about gaming, and I like that, and I just want to, you know, make this an enjoyable stream, and people have a good time, definitely. I like how when you click here, you can get a nice little balcony thing there. Super cool. Anyway, playing Genie is fun. I'm glad you like it. I definitely like this game. I like the noises. Me too. The popping, for sure, for sure. Yeah, so don't strain. Oh, and maybe just talking about, like, what is it like just to have some expectations for what it's like to sit down in your meditation. So you've been going throughout your day, right? And you've been thinking all day. And the mind just carries so much momentum. So when you sit down and essentially try and stop thinking by tuning into present moment sensation, by tuning into present moment sensation, we're calming the mind. We're giving our mind an anchor through the present moment sensation to concentrate on. And when you're concentrating on something, like I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm trying to say, so it's really hard for me to play my game. So it's like when you concentrate, our brains are really good at doing one thing at a time. So when you concentrate on what it feels like, what present moment sensations you can tune into right now, it stops the mind from thinking. But the mind has momentum and it's been thinking all day. So when you sit down to meditate for the first time, it's kind of like I don't know if you've ever been in a lazy river. I feel like most of us have. But if you've ever been in a lazy river and you try and stand still, it's not easy. It's like the momentum of your thinking just wants to carry you away into, as Plant Genie said, replaying earlier conversations. That is definitely an addicting one. And so you're trying to tune into feeling the sensation of breathing. What does it feel like to breathe right now? And in like 10 seconds, you're going to be off again, replaying those conversations. So it takes like a good 10 minutes to of like that alertness and intensity of just keep coming back. And as you do that, you're like standing in that momentum, and you're slowing that mind momentum down. So just throwing that out there. It's good to be aware of that. It takes, the effort is especially strong in the beginning. Those beginning stages, you definitely need some intensity. Definitely need, alertness needs to be peak. But the mind starts to slow down, and that's when that relaxing kind of energy comes in. You know, the mind is quieter. Concentration just offers a sense of bliss and relaxation. But yeah, it takes time to slow the momentum of the mind down. Yeah. Oh. Yes, Plant Genie, I definitely like the sound of the this thing. This is definitely more, I think, of the vibe I was going for, because I wanted to be doing this with the chess pieces, just like kind of moving them as I was going, but that was just not happening. Oh man, I wanted that to... I liked how that was a balcony. Oh well. Oh, I can undo. There's an undo button. Check it out. Wait. All right, let's see if we can keep that balcony. Ah. Oh shoot! Really? I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out as I go to the next quote. I think I got it though. I did. Okay. This is good though. Next quote. Quote 2. Quote 2. Cool. What does this say? Just sit back and see what happens. Don't expect anything. Don't be anxious. Oh, hold on. Let me pull this up. Yeah. Just sit back and see what happens. Don't expect anything. Don't be anxious for any results whatsoever. Temporarily suspend all of your preconceptions, opinions, ideas, and let the meditation move along on its own. Yeah, so just sit back and see what happens. It's definitely, I agree. But I feel like it needs context because, right, when you, sit back and see what happens, what are you going to do? I feel like you're going to daydream. I feel like there's, especially when you don't know what you're doing and you're sitting there, it's kind of like a wondering if you're doing it right. You know, am I doing this meditation? Because there's also the tip, we're trying to do nothing. That's nice. But what are we trying to do? And then you hear, just sit back and see what happens, which is true. But yeah, we need some context here. So what can we expect? Well, we just talked about in this whole last quote, that your intention is to be with breath energy, present moment sensation. That's another name for it. I use that term, breath energy. It means proprioceptive awareness, feeling your body from the inside. Yeah, it means the same thing. It means proprioceptive awareness, breath energy. So yeah, tuning into present moment sensation. Another analogy, synonym, another synonym. Right. And we don't want to strain because we're happy when thoughts arise, because that is part of this process. We're gaining awareness of the thoughts that arise in our minds. So that's what you can expect, right? You tune into present moment sensation. A thought arises and you note it. You notice what the thought is. Maybe you're replaying a conversation that really irritated you. Maybe you just maybe there's some person at work who's just super annoying to you, and you just love thinking about how they kind of made your day a little worse, because it's just like, oh my gosh, they're doing it to me, and they did it to me again, and man, they're so dumb. And it's kind of like a gratifying thought spiral. Right? So anyway, you sit down for your meditation, you try and concentrate. You take all of your energy to concentrate on present moment sensation, and then you realize that you've been thinking about that person for the past 2 minutes. You're like, what was I even doing? Oh yeah, I'm trying to meditate, but I've been thinking about that person. So, and then you note that. You note it's enjoyable to think about how annoying this person is to me. And that is the awareness we're looking for. And when you do that, maybe you think about that person your whole entire meditation. Maybe you sit down for 20 minutes and 15 of those minutes was thinking about your day and how dumb that person is. So then you can just be like, wow, my mind is it really enjoys that. It really enjoys gossiping with myself about so and so. And obviously, when you really think about it, you don't want to do that, because if you're gossiping in your mind about them, maybe you have the person at work that you do actually like, and you both like to talk about that person. That's really fun to do, and you just have like a kind of an understanding of like you guys are together and against that person or whatever. But then you try and bring another person into your clique, and they like, you're like, oh yeah, don't you think so and so annoying? And they're just like, oh no, I didn't think so. And then it's just like, so I don't know, it's just like you're mean, you're mean, and it just doesn't feel good. And you're like, oh, I liked this new person and now they just think I'm mean. And it's just and yeah, so it's just like, it's not. So my point is, you're recognizing the gossip that's going on in your mind, and it's just like, I don't want to do that. They're their own person. They have their own struggles. Why am I don't know. Why am I enjoying so much hating them? Why am I being a hater? And yeah, you're like, you don't want that. And that's what's happening in the meditation. You because when you tune into that present moment sensation, like we talked about, that momentum to gossip in your own mind about that person, there's a momentum to it. And when you turn into present moment sensation, you're like standing in that momentum. Slow it down. And that is the process of meditation. And we'll talk about this later on what that's doing. But in the end, you feel less desire to think badly about that person, and yeah, maybe new other thoughts that you're addicted to come up in your mind, and you start thinking about those instead. Yeah. So right, so we have the this kind of framework for how meditation works. You go in, concentrate on present moment sensation, and as thoughts arise, you kind of label them. You label them and you notice what you habitually think about. And that brings us back to the quote, just sit back and see what happens. And that is exactly right. So once you have this intention of what a proper meditation intention is, yeah, sit back and see what happens, and notice what thoughts come up. Don't expect anything. Don't be anxious for any results whatsoever, right? So well, this is interesting, right? It's saying don't be anxious for any results whatsoever, but just notice if you're anxious for a result. You're sitting there and you're trying not to think, but you're going to get lost in thought. And maybe that's a whole thought spiral. Um you're just in this whole thought pattern that you maybe enter in all the time because you're trying to become more enlightened. Um, you're really into the whole spiritual path, which is great, but you want to make progress quicker, and you're in your meditation and you just want something to come of it. And yeah, so then you notice in your meditation, oh wow, I keep thinking about, I don't know, this YouTube video I heard on meditation and how cool it would be to be more enlightened, and you're just off thinking about and maybe criticizing yourself because I just want to be further. Why aren't I getting this? It can be a whole pattern. So it says don't be anxious for any results whatsoever, but I say notice if you're anxious for results. And what do you do when you notice that you're talking about the results you want from this practice? You return to breath energy. You return to present moment sensation. And you let those thoughts go. And you just keep doing that over and over again. Yeah, like we said with the gossiping one, maybe 15 of the 20 minutes, you're just constantly thinking about how you want to be more spiritual. That is perfectly fine because you're doing it. That's you're doing the meditation. You're trying to concentrate on the feeling of breathing, and you're noticing the thoughts that arise, and you're taking note. Like, wow, I think about that a lot. And that's the practice. And yeah, temporarily suspend all your preconceptions, opinions, and ideas. Meaning, so we were talking about the gossiping, thinking a whole bunch of negative thoughts about that person you don't like. You might, because yeah, you're practicing the spiritual path, and you just think these malicious thoughts, these malicious ideas about this person. Maybe that person at work, and you're like, oh, it'd be so funny if they mess that up again. What are they gonna get? What's gonna happen to them if they keep messing that thing up? I kind of hope it happens. I want to see it, right? So this malicious thought, and then you're on the spiritual path, and you're like, oh, I don't want to think that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to suspend your preconception. You don't need to, what am I trying to say? Opinions and ideas. What did I say? I'm off track. That, yeah, you say I shouldn't have those thoughts. That is your opinion and a preconception, because you were just lost in thought, thinking that malicious thought. You were just lost in that thought. But then you jump in with your opinion and idea of like, oh, I shouldn't think that. No, just suspend those ideas and those preconceptions that you shouldn't do it. You just notice it as it is. Like, oh, I was thinking malicious thoughts about that person. Cool. Done. Back to present moment sensation. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions about that one. You definitely do just sit back and see what happens, but it's you want some intention You need some intention for your meditation so that you can sit back and see what happens and you're not just wondering if you're doing your meditation correctly. Don't want to be stuck wondering. That's always annoying. Maybe we'll head over to the next quote. Quote 3. So yeah, we're doing mindfulness in plain English. These are all quotes from Mindfulness in Plain English. This is the Magical Mystical Book Tour, where we're just going over spiritual books. Right now we're in chapter 4 of Mindfulness in Plain English. I just take some of the quotes that I liked that I think deserve some clarification so that we can really hone in our practice, really make sure we're not confused about what meditation is and how to make progress. Yeah, but yeah, we're reading Mindfulness in Plain English. Since this is a Magical Mystical Book Tour, you never have to read the book. I bring in the quotes, so you can just come in, pop in, enjoy the time. We're playing Townscaper. It's a little tough for me to talk and play this at the same time, but I think I really want this to be kind of the vibe for stream, so I think I'll get better. We're gonna keep going for it anyway. But yeah, just chill, hang out, listen to the clarifications, and hopefully it inspires your practice. But yeah, join the Discord. Just it's a great place to share insight if you do read the book, or even if you don't. Just a great place to go and see what insights people are having about the book, and I don't know, maybe learn something there too. I'll just clarifying the practice. How do we get the most out of sitting on the cushion? How can we refine our intention and get the greatest results? So the next quote: don't cling to anything, don't reject anything. If good mental images arise, that is fine. If bad mental images arise, that is also fine too. That is fine too. Don't fight with what you experience, just observe it all mindfully. Okay, so right. I mean, it's all kind of the same ideas. But what does it mean? What does it mean to cling to an idea, and what does it mean to reject an idea? Clinging to an idea, maybe you have a friend coming into town, and you're super excited about it, and you sit down for your meditation, and you just immediately go into a thought, and you get lost in thought all about all the fun things you're gonna do and all the things you need to get prepared for that friend to come over, and what day they're coming over, and how much time you have to get stuff done. I don't know, you can go into planning, but just like exciting planning, because you're just excited for this thing to happen. So what does it mean to cling? You have this pleasant thought come into your mind, and you have this pleasant thought come into your mind, and it's just so enjoyable to think about it. It's just an enjoyable process, and you're excited, and you want to think about it, and you remember, and then you come back in your meditation, you realize, oh, I was just thinking about this, and then it might be kind of a bummer to oh, I am supposed to go back into present moment sensation now and not think about this thing I'm super excited to think about. And that's clinging. That's what the clinging is. Having an enjoyable thought and wanting to think about it more. So it takes a discipline to deal with those clinging thought patterns. But the solution, it's all still the same. I mean, you notice, oh wow, I'm really excited about my friend coming into town. I'm really excited about my friend coming into town, but I'm gonna try and to keep staying with present moment sensation. Right. So you just let go of the clinging. You let go of the pleasant sensation and the you let go of the pleasant sensations of thinking about that thing you want. Yeah, that's what it means to not cling. And then also don't reject anything. So, and this is super important for people on the spiritual path, because, or part of a religious tradition, you know, because it's all about, you know, be kind and don't be mean, but maybe a malicious thought comes in, or maybe a fantasy comes into your mind that you feel like you're just not supposed to have, something that you feel like you're not supposed to want, and that thought comes into your head and you're just like, oh, I'm not supposed to think that, and then you try and cover it up with present moment sensation. So now this is kind of the opposite. So so when it's something you want to reject, it's like you immediately want to have an excuse to like not think about that. I need to go back to breath energy. But that's spiritual bypassing. Every desire in the mind deserves your attention, deserves your mindfulness. I don't even know if it deserves it. No, I guess I think it deserves it. But why I said that is because if you reject a part of yourself that wants something, it can manifest in ways that are darker and meaner, because yeah, your desire is hungry for something, and if you go in there and you're just like, I'm not supposed to want this, that part of you goes unnourished, unsatisfied, and it's like a part of you that gets hungry. And if you just refuse to feed it, it's not going to be happy, and it's going to that desire is going to become mischievous and hijack subconscious action, you know, to figure out a way to get what it wants. So you need to acknowledge all the desires in your mind, right? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So yeah, because when you have this kind of desire that you want to reject, like, oh, I shouldn't be thinking mean thoughts, or oh, I have this desire that I feel like I shouldn't have, You want to go to breath energy, but yeah, that's like a spiritual bypassing. You just need to acknowledge, oh, wow, I want this thing, and I feel like I shouldn't have it, but I do want it. And so you just acknowledge it, and then you return to present moment sensation. Because you don't need to feed it either. You don't need to feed it, like with the clinging example. So you recognize, oh, I want to think this malicious thought. I want to have this forbidden experience or something. So yeah, you sit with you don't need to feed it either. You don't it's not a matter of rejecting or clinging. You don't want to reject it, you don't want to cling to it. So you recognize it and you just let it be. You let it be, you acknowledge that it was there, and then you return to breath energy. So the things that you want to think about and the things you don't want to think about, you handle it in exactly the same way. You recognize it, and then you return to present moment sensation. Yeah, so this is definitely a tricky part of the whole meditation experience, because your intention is to not think. Your intention is to be with present moment sensations. But your intention is also to experience your thoughts and let them arise. So it's tricky. It's definitely a tricky balance between having that intensity and that alertness and present moment sensation, while also allowing everything to arise as it does. So just take some practice. Yeah. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that. Otherwise, I think we'll move on. Seems like I'm kind of making like a step stool ladder here. Oh, interesting. Pretty cool. Let's see. Next quote. Where are we at now? When you perceive any sensory object, watch what it does to your senses and perception. The initial perception will spark pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling. We may feel greed, lust, jealousy, fear, worry, restlessness, or boredom. Watch the feelings that arise, the mental activities that follow. This is pretty cool. I like this quote because he's basically explaining what it means to meditate off the cushion. How do you meditate off the cushion? Right. So when you leave your cushion, the practice extends off the cushion in the sense that we always want to be watching our thoughts. We always want to be seeing what thoughts and desires arise in the mind. And a great way to do that, a great way to notice the thoughts that arise, is not to mindlessly get lost in the thoughts. And how do we do that? Well, we stick with present moment sensation. What does it feel like to be breathing? What does it feel like to feel your feet on the ground? Talking about present moment sensation, what does it feel like to have my hands on the steering wheel? And I feel the vibration of the car. Just tuning into what you can sense. And that is presence. So that is a practice, practicing mindfulness throughout the day. You're thinking all day, whether you're at work or you're cleaning the counters in the kitchen. You're usually just thinking about something. So it's really not too hard to think about something and do what you're doing. Right? So this practice, you're just you're doing what you're doing, and you're just aware of sensation, and you try and stay aware of sensation and notice thoughts arise as they come up. And you can get really practiced at this and essentially just do it all day. You stay the body is an anchor for presence. The body is an anchor for presence, because the mind, it can be anywhere. It can be in the past, in the future. Body is stuck in the present. So if we tune into our present moment sensations, the mind has to go quiet because we're focused and concentrated on what is arising. It's a little hard for me to maintain my thought. See, I'm early days on this stream. Troubleshooting. We're trying this game for the first time today, by the way. But it is a little tricky to maintain my thought process and also build a moat or an epic wall for my city. But yeah, something to consider after the stream. Just gotta try and figure out what works. The intention of the whole stream, I'm super excited about. Just clarifying what it means to meditate on the cushion, what it means to meditate off the cushion, what I'm trying to do right now. Yeah. All on Twitch. I think Twitch seems like a great platform for it. Follow if you're enjoying this so far. I definitely am. Follow if you like my city. Based on this stream, I don't know if I will be building another city. It's a little difficult, but this is such a fun game. It kind of makes me sad. Oh, here we go. Let's talk about some clinging, huh? Because I'm definitely really enjoying this game, and I really like the idea of playing a game while I talk about this stuff. And maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll happen in the future. And I really want it to happen because I'm so stoked. I was looking at the city looks awesome. Thanks, Planchini. I was so stoked about this game. It's just so mesmerizing. I feel like it would be so helpful and cool for um or to be, I love this Nook, for it to be like on Twitch like this. So yeah, I kind of feel like I can feel myself clinging to that ideal because I really like playing it. This is a really great game. But maybe not. Maybe not. Or maybe I'll get better at it. I don't know. Maybe I can come back to it after I'm better talking about these ideas. I'm putting these ideas into words for really the first time, so take some practice for sure. Anyway, enough meta talk about what's going on with the stream. Yeah, we were talking about what it means to meditate in daily life. What a cool arch. That arch. How fun. Yeah, it means to stay with present moment sensation. Because when you're staying with present moment sensation, you really have a nice vantage point to see all the thoughts that come up. And all the sensations that arise. So, like, let's say you're chilling. I don't know. Yeah, you're just going throughout the day, and you're trying to stay with present moment sensation, and then something just kind of catches your eye. Maybe it's like I don't know. You're in a store and you've been looking for the perfect side table piece, and then you see it, right? And then immediately, pleasant sensations come in, and you have that perception like, oh, I've been looking for that, and you start talking in your mind like, oh, I wonder how expensive it is. Oh, this whole kind of world opens up in your mind. You just take on this this desire that wants that side table piece, and before that part of yourself wasn't there. You were just with present moment sensation, and then that sense objects comes into view, and then you just notice the process of your wanting arising. And what's interesting is like, yeah, you can so like this practice, it gives you this ability to choose. Like you don't become so reactive, because when you watch it arise, through your meditation practice, you also know how to reduce the momentum of that thinking process. You can turn back into present moment sensation and completely let go of the desire to get that side table piece. So it's all just a matter of like when you perceive a sensory object, noticing what it does to your senses and your perception. Yeah, so in this case, it was a pleasant sensation, and maybe, what would it be? A greed? I don't even know if it's a greed. It's like you just want it, and it's pleasant, and maybe you can have it. I guess it would be greed maybe if it was too expensive. You really wanted it, and that's when like that negative greed comes in, and then you can just watch that arise, and we just take it so personally when those kind of feelings arise. And that's what this practice is trying to teach us, is that we don't have to take it so personally. um, we can see greed, and we can see um, the building blocks of it. We can see it has this feeling in the body. It's just like this. What does that feeling? Anger, irritation, sadness, wanting, like that whole feeling. Bundle, right? And then you have the verbal dialogue going of how you wish you could have that thing, right? And the verbal dialogue, it just makes us feel it. We take that greed to be so personal because we use the pronoun I to talk about these building blocks of the feelings in the body. Like, oh, I just really wanted that thing. But with a meditation practice, we can tune into body sensation, and we can tune into body sensation, and that part of ourself goes quiet. So we never really had to identify with it in the first place. So I'm thinking, I feel distracted by this game. It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But we're gonna move on to the next quote. I'm gonna finish it out. So the mind is purified naturally by mindfulness. Habitual deliberation is not necessary to eliminate those things that are keeping you in bondage. All that is necessary is a clear, non-conceptual perception of what they are and how they work. That alone is sufficient to dissolve them. Right. So, I think I just wanted to bring clarification to what it means to purify. What is it that is purifying the mind? What does it mean to purify the mind? So it talks about habitual deliberation is not necessary to eliminate just the things we don't like about ourselves, and the things that we feel keep us in bondage, like trying to think your way into being a better person is not the solution. And what is the concept behind that? So you can think about all those parts about yourself that maybe you don't like, your thinking patterns that you don't like. Maybe you're lazy and you don't like that about yourself. All those parts about ourselves that we don't like, essentially they are desires. Your laziness, it wants something. It wants to relax. It wants to veg out and scroll on Instagram, TikTok. So it's just that's what it wants. And when maybe after you've spent the whole day doing that and feeding that desire, that lazy desire, you get to the end of the day and you just kind of hate yourself a little bit, and you just try and you're trying to think yourself out of it, habitually deliberation. So, and what meditation this practice promises, the promise of this practice is that you don't have to deliberate out of it. Meditation purifies the mind, and meditation can free you from bondage. So how does that work? So we talked about laziness. Shivaya, first time chatter. I like your emojis. Check out the Discord, by the way. I'll put a link right now. Join the Magical Mystical Book Club. Glad to have you in here. I'm having a... I was playing this game, but, you know, it was really distracting me, so I'm kind of putting it to the side. I'm going to finish up this last quote. And anyway, we're talking about laziness. Let me know if you have a problem with laziness. I definitely do. And yeah, we don't have to think or beat ourselves up to get us out of the laziness. We have to recognize laziness for what it is, and it's a desire. It's a desire to be lazy. It's a desire to scroll your phone. And it really wants to do that. You can think of desire as kind of like a hunger. So you're lazy, that lazy part of yourself hungers laying on the couch, watching another Netflix hour of the show you like, right? And that's how we satisfy that lazy craving. The cravings of laziness, the lazy part of you. But it's interesting with the promise of meditation is that all these cravings inside of us can be satisfied not through what they desire, because what they desire is junk. Like when you're hungry and you want junk food, what your desires, they want junk, they want worldly things. But you can satiate them and satisfy them with other worldly things, with awareness itself, with the essential self. And what that means is present moment sensation. What kind of yoga do you like most? Well, I'm recovering from burnout. I'm kind of starting to get back to life. Good for you. Good for you, Shivaya. What kind of yoga do I like most? I'm so glad you asked, because that leads me into my next point. And PrajnaYoga.com, that's my yoga teacher. Definitely tune in to Tia Sensori a little. They're really amazing. Why are they amazing? Because, as I was just saying, the desire for the laziness wants to feed on watching the next show on Netflix, but you don't have to feed it that junk food. You can feed it awareness itself. And awareness itself is present moment sensation. Yoga, so present moment sensation first, I should say, is it's super subtle. It's hard to feel into. It's hard to develop a relationship with it. It takes practice. It takes practice to develop a taste for present moment sensation. You can think about it like junk food versus health food. You can think about it as junk food versus health food. So when you're hungry, oh, I would love a bag of potato chips, but I will have this bowl of raw broccoli and hummus, and it's like, oh, I don't know. But you do it, and you keep doing it, and you keep practicing it, and maybe after a year, you're like, man, I can't believe I craved chips over this delicious health snack that nourishes my body. Same exact thing. Laziness. It wants the junk food. It wants another episode of Netflix. But instead, you can satisfy it and satiate its hunger with awareness itself, the feeling inside your body. And Prajna Yoga, that is what that practice is. It's learning how to tune into present moment sensation, and awakening our receptivity of present moment sensation, because that can happen in the body. We sit all the time. Our fascia gets sticky and hard, and we can have less blood flow through the tissue, and the nerves become slightly deadened. So it's harder to feel. If we're sedentary, it's harder to feel. It's harder to tune into essential self, source, present moment sensation. That's what those are referring to: breath, energy, prana. Your nervous system has to be awake and ready to feel, and yoga awakens our nervous system and tunes it, reawakens our awareness of our bodies. So Prajna Yoga, check it out, Shivaya. You will not regret it. They are the best. They're on Yoga Glow too, by the way. T.S. Little. That's a good way to check out some of his classes. I definitely recommend his 1.5-hour classes. Anyway, yeah, so the mind is purified naturally by mindfulness. Right. So that's the whole idea. Well, as you satiate your desires with that's the promise of this practice, that you can satiate your desires with present moment sensation. That is the health food. So we just have to develop a taste for it. So as you notice that craving to just sit there and be on your phone, you can make the conscious choice. Well, you notice it. It's like, man, look at my laziness is really starting to kick in. You notice it and just tune in to present moment sensation. Do it for, just set a timer. I'm gonna do it for like 5 minutes. You're breaking the pattern. The mind is naturally becoming purified by mindfulness. You don't need to beat yourself up. Thank you for following, Shivaya. Very much appreciated. Check out the Discord. We have another. We're growing. We have two other people in there, and super excited about it. Not necessary to. So it's not necessary to eliminate those. It's not necessarily to think yourself out of that laziness that is keeping you in bondage. All that is necessary is clear, non-conceptual perception. Clear, non-conceptual perception. What does it feel like to be in the body right now? When you are tuned into present moment sensation, it quiets the mind. Your concepts and your perceptions go quiet for as long as you can stay concentrated on what it feels like to be in the body. Yeah, non-conceptual perception of what they are and how they work. All that is necessary is a clear non-conceptual perception of what they are and how they work. So what they are and how they work, what is he referring to there? That's the laziness. That's the desire of laziness. All that is necessary is a non-conceptual perception of laziness arising. I notice that craving. I want to watch more Netflix right now. I don't need to conceptualize it. I can have a clear non-conceptual perception of it. Just tuning into what does the craving to watch another episode of Netflix feel like. It's tuning into present moment sensation. It doesn't have to be this Om Shanti sensation. Maybe it's a intense frustration. There is no correct present moment sensation. There's no correct present moment sensation. Dharmadam, what's going on? How are you? Super glad to see you. I'm super well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so laziness. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Laziness is all that is necessary is Right. Anyway, so I was saying that you tune into present sensation, and there's no correct present moment sensation. There's no correct present moment sensation. So when your laziness is firing up, and you feel that craving and irritation, and you note, oh, that's my laziness firing up. I don't want to do any responsibilities. I want to scroll my phone, and I'm irritated that about the responsibilities I have. And you just note that, and then you tune into present moment sensation. What does all of that feel like? What does all of that feel like? And that is the present moment sensation. And that heals and satisfies all the same as some Om Shanti blissful sensation. So you don't have to strive for any type, of blissful feeling. Just tune into what is happening now. Tune into what is happening now. What is it like to experience all the anger and frustration you feel in your body right now? Planchini says, I'm always surprised how well deep breaths help me bring me back. Thank you for bringing that in, because that will bring us into our next component of it says, all that is necessary is a clear non-conceptual perception of what they are and how they work. So notice it. So what I'm bringing in is how they work. How does laziness work? How does it work? What are its components? It's good to know. There's 4 components. There's the initial perception. The initial perception of just like, it's something it's a conditioned mind, because you know what the chores are, you know how good your next episode is. Like you have an understanding of what it means to stop watching your favorite show and get the chores done. You have this perception, and it's like, I don't like it. I don't want to do it, right? That's your perception. And with that perception comes like that feeling tone of frustration. So number one is the perception. Number 2 is the feeling. And it's that anger and frustration we were talking about. Number 3 is the how you hold your body. I mean, maybe your diaphragm gets knotted up because you're frustrated. Maybe your breathing becomes more coarse, quicker, right? Your breathing changes because you're angry at your life circumstances. And then, so that's number 3, how your body starts reacting to it. And number 4 is your verbal dialogue. So you have that perception, like as soon as your show ends, the perception comes, you have to make this decision. It has that bad feeling. You can go from relaxing on the couch to just like gripping in your body. And then the verbal dialogue starts. And I really don't want to do this. This is where the I comes in. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed that I have to do this now. I don't want to do this chore. It's a dumb chore. I want to watch my show. Why do I have to? Whatever. There goes the dialogue. Right? So that's 4 components. And what those 4 components are: perception, internal feelings, how you're holding your body, how you're breathing, and the verbal dialogue. Those are the 4 building blocks of a sense of self. And that's why we use the pronoun I in the thought spiral that proceeds, because we take it personally. Those 4 building blocks, we take it personally, and we take it like, I am irritated about this situation. But it's not you. And that's what we're trying to recognize in this practice. That's not you. Those are 4 separate actions that we just mentioned. So as Planchini said, I'm always surprised at how well a deep breath helps me bring me back. Okay, so we just talked about how when you're frustrated, your breathing changes. And that's one of the 4 building blocks of that sense of self. So you consciously take a deep breath and you change the feeling. Well, that's 1 block down. You changed one of the 4 building blocks of that part of yourself that you identify as lazy, right? You changed your breathing. So that's one of the 4. And then you can tune into present moment sensation. You concentrate on what it feels like to breathe. Taking a deep breath, really tuning into what does it feel like to breathe. That concentration quiets the thoughts. That is building the 4th building block, which is verbal dialogue. So now you've taken away 2 of the 4 blocks that make up that sense of self. 2 of the 4 blocks that make up that sense of self. So you've already cut it in half. So now you've deepened your breathing. You've made your breathing more comfortable. You're concentrating on your body. You're letting all your body relax, your muscles relax. You're concentrating. The verbal dialogue goes quiet. You do that for a minute, and the feeling inside changes because concentration brings out a feeling of ease. And as you tap into that ease through your focused concentration, your alertness, that ease starts to come through. And now you've changed another building block. And all that remains is the perception, which is kind of already gone because your perception now is on your breathing, on your present moment sensation. Investigating what is it like to be alive in this body right now. And that sense that you took to be you is now, I mean, it's according to Buddhist philosophy, it's technically gone because it's not you. It's not solid. It's just 4 actions. Every desire is just 4 actions. It really is. I used to have a lot of sleep anxiety, like stressing out about how long it would take me to fall asleep. But after learning Nidra... I'm missing this conversation. Planchini, what's your favorite? I'm always surprised how well deep breaths help bring you back. What's your favorite? I've never tried Bhakti or Kriya, but I love Nidra. I mostly do Iyengar and Hatha. Beautiful. Nidra is true magic. Definitely. It really is. I used to have a lot of sleep anxiety, stressing about how long it would take me to fall asleep. But after learning Nidra practice, I never feel that anxiety. That's so awesome. Love the conversation. Let's see, can we say anything about stressing about falling asleep? I mean, it's definitely a desire, a sense of self, right? A desire to fall asleep. And having the perception that I never get to fall asleep. So then your body gets all tensed, and you're becoming the person. You're becoming the person of I'm not able to fall asleep. That's me. I'm not able to fall asleep. So you just identify with that desire to want to be a good sleeper. You disidentify with that, and that desire isn't, because what that desire wants is to fall asleep easily, and it's getting in its own way, and you think it's you, right? So you have to disidentify with it. You have to deconstruct it. You have to take those 4 building blocks, and that's what Nidra's doing. It's if you haven't done a Nidra, it's like it's a mindful walk through the body. Feel your left thumb, left index finger, middle finger, right ring finger, right pinky, the right hand, the right wrist, right? So it's just it's taking you into the body. It's bringing your concentration inside. That's proprioceptive awareness. That is breath energies. That is feeling. So you're concentrated on feeling. So the feeling of anxiousness is changed. You're going into the feeling of your hand, something very specific. And you're focused deeply on perceiving it, perceiving the body, and feeling perception. Your breathing naturally relaxes, and then you stop identifying with that part of you that feels like I can't sleep. And then you're able to fall asleep. That's really cool. But yeah, let's see. Main idea of this quote is that setting aside all of the philosophy of it, it's just a matter of recognizing when you're caught up in the negative effects of some strong desire and tuning back into present moment sensation. Tuning back into present moment sensation because that sensation feeds every desire. Awareness itself feeds all desires. And so that laziness that we were talking about, when you feed it the healthy food, it doesn't like it at first, but you just keep practicing. You notice the urge. You take a moment, just tune into present moment sensation, and you are feeding it, and you have to just trust it, I guess. Try it if it makes sense. Try it. See if it works. And notice after the course of a month, 6 months, a year, of maybe just noticing that desire specifically, notice how it changes. And maybe you get to the point where it's just like, wow, that my urge to be lazy was like just so strong, and now it's just a lot quieter. And that happens because that lazy part of yourself has been fed something, a food source, awareness itself, so it stops bothering you. So we have to really have a loving kindness for every desire that comes up, because it's just every desire is a different part of yourself, and you have to have a kindness for each one. You can't reject any of them, because we can just hate ourselves for being. Good night, brother. See you later. Nice talking to you. Yeah, nice talking to you, Shivaya. Yeah, you cannot reject the lazy part of yourself. Because if you reject it, when you reject that lazy part of yourself, you're basically saying, you want to be lazy, but no, you don't get to eat. You don't get food. Go be hungry, in the back of my mind. But it's just going to get more and more angry. We have to be kind to all the parts of ourselves, all of our desires, acknowledge them, and say, here is a healthy food source. I see you. This will be satisfying. Try this. And then you tune into present moment sensation, and that lazy part of yourself is gonna say, maybe after 20 seconds, like, this isn't good. But you just you try, and every second counts. Every second of mindfulness counts. It all adds up. And you keep going at it. You keep trying. And eventually, that desire won't give you such a hard time. That's the practice. That's the promise of this practice. Cool. Any questions on any of that, or any stories or whatever? I was trying a new game today, Darmadam. I don't know if you're still in here. I think I might be doing away with games in general. It's too hard for me to focus. I got through all my quotes pretty quickly today because I was trying to play a game at the same time. Didn't really work. But this is a really cool game. I really like it. Very satisfying. Seemed like the perfect game for the situation, but oh well. We try. I did go through all of my quotes. I think I might be cutting out early. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for bearing with me. We are gonna get better at this. This is definitely a passion project, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So thank you for being here in the beginning and supporting the stream, supporting the channel, and join the Discord. There's a link. Follow if you haven't followed. Check out the Discord. I think that's all for now. I will see you all next time. Tuesday. See you later. Out.